Hi, this is Emily Kinston, and today I'm doing a book review on Number the Stars by Lois Lowry. This book was published in Boston by the Huffin Mifflin Company in 1989. This book is considered a historical fiction, and this book has won many awards. This book has won the Newbery Award in 1990, the Dorothy Canfield Fisher Children's Book Award in 1991, and the National Jewish Book Award for Children's Literature in 1990. So I'm going to give you a synopsis or a summary of this book. So the main characters of this book are Anne Marie, her sister Christy, and their friend Ellen. And the story is taking place in Copenhagen, Denmark, during the time of the Holocaust. So all of them realize that their town and the whole country of Denmark has been taken over by a bunch of Nazi, German soldiers. And they realize they're in the middle of a war because there's a lot of rations for food and fuel. Particularly throughout the book, they mention things like sugar and milk that are not readily available for them. And the fact that a bunch of stores are starting to close down around them that Jews own. So Ellen, their best friend, is a Jew, and in the story, her parents end up having to leave out of the country to be safe. So the Nazis wouldn't take her and take her parents and put them into a concentration camp. But because Ellen is sort of left behind, Anne Marie and her family have to take care of Ellen. It gets to the point where it's so bad that the soldiers are looking for her and end up going into their home. And thank God that um, Anne Marie's older sister, who at this point in the story, or actually before the story, has already passed away, looks like her. So they could use those pictures to show, hey, this is my older sister, to kind of hide her. Well, because they knew that it was getting pretty close and they couldn't keep up hiding her forever, they decided to go to her uncle's house, Anne Marie's uncle's house, and they stage a fake funeral so that way they can have a gathering of a bunch of Jews and be able to take them on a boat to Sweden, where a bunch of Nazi um, Germans are not there. They're not there because the fact Sweden is very controlled and a bigger country. Of course, Ellen gets to make it, but barely, as Anne Marie realizes one of the passengers was supposed to take a package with him, and she had to run through the woods and give this package, which was supposed to save them. Which in this package was a handkerchief doused in certain drugs that the dogs that the Nazi, soldiers had would smell, so that way they couldn't pick up the scent of the people on the boats. There's no illustration synopsis for this because obviously this is not a picture book. This is a novel. And the only picture here is on the front of the book, which most book reviews do not discuss the illustrations. So, the literary element I'm going to talk about in this book is the explicit theme of bravery. Now, this is an explicit theme because it's pretty much obviously stated throughout the entire story. Now, a big thing is in the very beginning of the story, the king of Denmark, Christian X, is known to have people as in citizens protect him, not soldiers. And Anne Marie believes that she could never protect somebody that way. She could never be that brave. And bravery is what's considered the theme because once as we start there, it's brought up every so often in the book. The first part of bravery is mentioned is when she talks to her uncle, and her uncle tells her that she was brave to protect Ellen from the Nazi German soldiers who came into her home. She considers it not bravery, but her uncle defines bravery as not knowing something. The idea of her not knowing what was going on, she was able to act innocent and to protect her best friend. She realizes when the she knows about the funeral being fake and that her um, family and friends are gathering so they can ship the Jews off to another country. When a police officer shows up to question her, she is not as brave. She actually acts hesitant. The idea is that she's not as brave because she now knows about what's going on. But she acts even more brave when she has to deliver the handkerchief and she has to act innocent in front of the soldiers as if she doesn't know there's a package in her basket and she's delivering it to a bunch of Jews on on a boat. And she has to put on this persona that she's going to act like her little sister, as if she would cry and not know what's going on, act so innocent and terrified, and it works. So the idea of bravery is not necessarily knowing what you're getting yourself into and then going through with it, knowing that you could die. It's rather how you act when you don't know anything. Because she could have easily gave in a lot of situations. She knew that they were German soldiers. She could have just said, "Hey, my friend Ellen, did you just take her away?" She could have just caved in front of the soldiers and gave up and said, "Yeah, I had a package." But no, she kept on an innocent face, which is considered a brave face. So, with the critical evaluation of this text, um, this is a very positive. There's a lot of very positive pros with this text, and the idea that this gives a whole nother perspective to the Holocaust. The idea is we're seeing the Holocaust in the eyes of a non-Jewish family who is trying to help Jewish people. So the idea is we learn how the Holocaust didn't just affect the Jewish people, but also the non-Jewish who were also part of the resistance. In this story, we learned that her older sister and her husband Peter died because of the fact that they were part of the resistance. So normal citizens that wanted to stand up against this cruelty was involved, and that some Jews do escape. Not all Jews did go through a concentration camp and die. This book shows a more positive, optimistic output to the Holocaust, and a lot of readers can understand and relate to the main character. Anne Marie is a very dynamic, rounded character. She has to show bravery. She gets frustrated when she doesn't know what's going on. She's trying to help her best friend, which a lot of people do just in normal situations. People have to be brave, go through some harsh things in life. Anybody really does want to help their best friend out. So, a lot of her aspects is what a lot of readers probably or most likely want to be in their own lives. The negative aspect of this is it's a very positive, optimistic view. So it's a duality. The ideas like books like the Diary of Anne Frank shows the negative aspects of the Holocaust. Anne Frank did not live. She had to hide. She got caught. She was put into a concentration camp. She did not live. And the idea is that readers must understand that not all Jews are going to escape persecution. Not all non Jews are going to help them escape persecution. So the idea is that you need to read both texts to then fully understand the historical event. With that being said, a good teaching idea for this book is using it for history. A lot of students in late middle school read the Diary of Anne Frank. So this book is aimed for 3rd through 8th graders, and you can vary the levels of challenges to work for each grade level for this book. Some ideas that I'd have that I would use, especially for upper middle school, like 7th or 8th grade, is having students research the Holocaust to understand the bigger, broader ideas outside of the book. Then, of course, for the English part, the literary objectives, is, of course, to have them read the book, quiz them, learn about a lot of literary elements such as foreshadowing or cliffhangers. And then you can go even further with the text. You can have students map out Denmark, find out where the capital of Denmark is, all the bodies of water around Denmark that the individuals had sailed across to go to Sweden, um, and of course where the city they're located is at. You could also talk about comparing and contrasting Anne Frank with Number the Stars. You can do graphic organizers, and it gives them a more clear picture of the whole text. So thanks for watching. This is the end of the video. Please leave a like or comment down below to let me know if there was anything you want to talk about in the book or what you like.